Hello, my name is Matt Cheese and these are the new features and updates for C2 Command and Control version 1.4.2. First, right off the bat, we have a number next to the cursor now that tells us the direction relative to your player's character. Second, and this is very exciting to me, before these lines they were kind of fixed, so whenever you made your plans you could either undo stuff or delete all of them or skip a waypoint. Now you can actually just drag the markers around with your left mouse button, and that also goes for the looking direction and also for the smoke. It only works on individual waypoints, meaning no hubs at the moment, but it is fully interactive, and it's also working with the current waypoint, meaning that the guy's going to stop for a second and adjust course, and now you'll see he's going to run over there and throw a smoke shell in my face, probably.
Standing by.
Yeah, there we go. Next up, I had to make some adjustments to the way that team colors are managed. Before, I had this drag and drop system, which I really like, but there was a bug in there that I haven't identified yet 100%. So until I fix that, I changed it to a right-click context menu, meaning that whatever units you have selected, you just right-click on either one of them, and that's going to apply the team color change to all of the selected one. If you click on one that's not selected, it's just going to apply to that one unit, in this case number 7. Next item on the menu is that building positions in planning mode are now actually so precise that you can use them and put them into sequences, meaning that if you're into door kickers and into orchestrated building raids and you're crazy enough to go through all that planning, you can do so now. And then also the preview of the building now only doesn't show the building positions, but it also shows doors, meaning that blue doors are in the ground level, green doors are on the first floor, and the darker green one means there is a blue and a green one on top of each other, meaning 2 doors on 2 floors right on top of each other. Anyways, now they also work tight enough to put them in a sequence. So nothing stands in between you and your goal kickers type gameplay. Let me just fast forward this so you can see that he's going to go to one position one after another, and the conditions are actually good enough to let him do that. Next feature is something that I really like. It's a remote grenade launcher function for your AI, and it works exactly the same as the suppression would work, only that you're using your GTI grenade key, which is by default the H key. So you need to have units selected, and one of them needs to have a grenade launcher for it to work. Otherwise, if you don't have units selected, you're just gonna end up with your default GTI grenades. Anyways, if you have units selected, the script is going to filter for the best unit, meaning it needs to have a launcher and it needs to have a shot on your target. But now if I hold down the H key, I get the suppression indicator. It's yellow this time to tell me that it's not suppression, it's actually grenades. And then it's going to select the best unit to plunge a grenade into this window up there. Very nice. Do the same thing again with the individual selection. Hold down the key, let go. Works with any mod. Can look a little bit weird, but it's nice that you can have your units fire launch grenades into a building actually. This, by the way, is one of the stranger things that I've seen courtesy of the current Bohemia Interactive dev build. The next feature is stance management implementation in radial menu, and now you have one way of managing stances that is the same in the radial menu, the same in planning mode, and the same in HUD mode. And one thing that you have to know is that there's 2 different levels of stance commands in Arma 3. One is the scripted ones, and these are the ones that I can access through C2. And the other one is an engine level command, which is what you can reach as a player if you select your units and then you go 7 and then 6 for stand up, 7 go crouched, 8 go prone, and 9 for auto. Auto is very important because in order for the C2, or in other words scripted commands to work, you need to be in auto, because the other stances just overwrite everything else. But that's the cool thing, you can use that to your advantage. As I said, you can have these. If you're in auto stance, you can use the C2 stances. So technically it's a good idea to always be in auto unless the situation dictates differently, because if you have plans mapped out with that includes stances, like I'm just going to put down a nonsense example over here, those include stances, but now the situation may change and you think it's a better idea for this guy not to cancel his whole plan but just to lay down. You can go 7 and then which one is it even? Go prone.
Get down.
And then this is going to override everything else. But now, headshot, I took care of that sniper guy. I can tell the guy
copy my stance.
Copy my stance, or in other words auto again, so he's going to go back to scripted and follow these plans. So always use auto and the scripted ones, and then if the situation dictates differently, use the engine level commands to override everything. And then in the end, don't forget to set them back to auto, because otherwise the stance commands are not going to have no effect unless
copy my stance.
You switch them to auto. Sounds very complicated, it's not really. Okay, moving on. The rearm function received a little bit of a facelift, because now it can also make your unit pick up a new weapon, and that's going to happen in this case because he has no weapon. He's going to take the weapon and also take some ammo. So now he's back in business, but the whole thing is also going to take place if he only has the magazine that is in his rifle at the current point. So then he will consider to actually change his weapon, because one mag is only going to take him that far, right? If you're running a version of Arma that is bigger than 1.5.4, the mod is going to detect the functionality to disable your AI's auto combat, because as soon as we take fire now, or closer shots, my guys are going to switch into something that's known as auto danger or auto combat, and it's very bad because before you couldn't snap out of it. It takes a long time for us to take fire here. There we go, we're in auto danger now. So now if I tell my guys to move somewhere, maybe I want them to move over there, but they decide it's better to stand in the open and not move at all. So basically now I can disable their auto combat, then send them there and witness that they're going to behave a little bit better, because they're not in danger mode anymore. They're stuck in aware, which in itself has quite some combat capabilities. But now if I tell them no target or disengage, it's going to be much easier for them to get the hell out of there and run.
Target neutralized.
Some of the little things are little bug fixes, namely one of them is that the disband to reserve function was bugged, or more precisely the rejoin function was bugged, because you would end up not being the leader of your group. That one is fixed now. The same also goes for that campaign bug that you might have witnessed, where you're not the leader of your group and your leader doesn't seem to be going anywhere. That one is also fixed now. Alright, so that concludes the new features and updates that were added to C2 in version 1.4.2. C2 Command and Control, check it out on Steam, Armaholic, Bohemia forums, and also feel free to subscribe on YouTube and leave a comment or a like or all that good stuff. Let me know what you think. Alright, my name's Matt Cheese, and I'll see you very soon.